Kelly, stories like this one flood the headlines, and they've become all too familiar in our news coverage. And many people are fed up, left at a loss for truly what can be done about the violence in our community. Later today, community members are gathering with one message: put it down. So two of the organizers join us ahead of this afternoon's meeting: Pennsylvania State Senator Sharif Street and community activist Daryl Shuler. Also with us to discuss this issue on behalf of Philadelphia's Office of Violence Prevention, Executive Director Mr. Shondell Revelle. Did I get it right?
You did.
I did. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Kelly Rule starts the show off today with 7 people shot in West Philadelphia last night. Let's start with you. It just seems to not stop in our community right now.
Well, unfortunately, we're experiencing a rash of shootings that are, it's a problem. But when you have the heat, which always causes more an uptick in violence, that with access to firearms, and then we've got all these social media beefs that are going on. It's a real problem that we need to get our arms around.
Daryl, I understand that you kind of know one of the victims in some of the coverage that we've covered here lately. When it hits close to home, does it hurt a little bit more for you?
Absolutely, and that's the reason why I called Senator Street, because the young lady Tiana, when she got killed, I called Senator Street immediately and told him we need to have a community meeting. We need to do it now. We can't wait. We can't wait for city officials to what you might want to call help the situation out. We have to do it as a community. We have to do it.
We have a city official with us, Mr. Revel. I'll get it right before the end of the show. It's a serious issue that's happening in our community. From the city's perspective, what do we do?
You know, I'm asked that question a lot, you know, and we throw out buzzwords like collaboration or holistic approach, you know, but we need to go back to the basics. You know, we need to give the community a voice. You know, we need to implement programs, which is good, but we also need to realize that not one person or organization is going to do this.
Absolutely.
You know, we need everybody to, you know, all hands on deck. We need to make sure that we're looking at it from a well-rounded approach. You know, meeting people where they're at, but also not trying to guess and see what their needs are, but asking what their needs are.
Absolutely.
You got to involve the community.
Daryl, let me ask you this. You're a community activist. You're out in the community. You meet with some of these people. When we're losing some of our young people to the streets at such an early age, is that where this starts? Do we have to go back to sort of like keeping kids in school and trying to get families to stress the importance of maybe education and those types of things?
You know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because there's a lot of moving parts to this problem. It's not just, there is no one specific answer. And if anybody says that they're alive, but most of the shootings in the age range of the teenagers to, I'll say mid-20s, they come from either social media, females, or just simply an argument. Yeah. And it's you know, the old saying is, you know, the village is supposed to take care of the children. Well, it's time for the village to take back the community.
Definitely is.
Senator, what's your message today at this meeting?
Well, the message is, listen, no one's going to save us but us. The folks need to come out and take responsibility. But we also want to hear from people in the community. It's not really just about us telling folks what needs to happen.
Right.
We need to hear from people about what the problems they see. And different people are going to have different messages. One thing that my wife said to me was, she said, listen, our children aren't experiencing enough love. And she said, sometimes parents, mothers, or fathers need to just hug these children and let them know, because the level of violence and the to run into a basketball court and shoot it up without any regard for the people who are there is a problem. And you have young, hormonal kids, access to firearms, and a lack of conflict resolution skills to resolve their problems in a nonviolent way, and it is a recipe for disaster. And so we want people to take ownership of their own communities. And we want to know that this is a collaborative thing. So we're going to listen to people. We're going to have clergy. We're going to have activists. We're going to have law enforcement. We're going to have public officials. But we're starting with people from the community with an open mic, and then we'll move into other folks talking.
Shondell, when you see the commissioner out on a Saturday night in our community, not in uniform, probably called from home to deal with issues like that, does it really let you know how big of an issue it is in our city?
Yeah, it does. You know, it really does. You know, I find that, you know, in order to kind of really be a part of the community, you have to get out into the community. You know, Commissioner Ross does a wonderful job about it. You know, I myself, I go with our crisis teams, our community crisis intervention program. You know, I'm out there 2 at night, 2 in the morning, you know, from 6 to 4, and just kind of just feeling the community, listening to them. You know, you have to really listen to what's going on, you know, and you definitely have to treat the people, you know, the young cats who are on the corner. But you got to look in the households too. You got to bring services to the house, you know, because people are starving out there. I mean, it's real, you know. And if you're not actually, you know, providing their needs, the basic needs, then the problem's never going to get fixed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, good luck today. We'll follow up with you guys and see how the meeting goes. Thank you so much for coming in. It's doors open at 1:30 and it's 3 to 7 at the Met on North Broad Street for anybody who's interested in going. And the message, Daryl, what? Put it down.
It's simple. Put it down.
Yeah.
It really is simple.
Yeah.
Real simple.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Quick break. We'll be right back.